A long time ago, New York City was one of the central hubs of the world for fashion, and not just menswear, but fashion as a whole. And we had so many different manufacturers, we had fabric curators, there were showrooms all up and down the fashion district. You were able to get pretty much anything done in New York City, but we are now unfortunately a far cry away from being made in New York City, let alone made in America. But recently, one of my friends in the community who watches the channel and loves the content told me about this raw denim manufacturer right in the heart of Brooklyn, which I knew I had to go and visit because I was just so surprised, because let alone being made in America, let alone being made in New York City, let alone being made in Brooklyn, it was almost just kind of unfathomable. I didn't really know if I could believe it at first, to be honest with you. And this is when I knew that I had to go and visit this manufacturer myself. And I gotta say, guys, wow, I was so impressed. It was literally like denim heaven, and it's crazy that a spot like this literally exists only 40 minutes away from me. So I want to give a huge shout out to that community member. I'm not going to name you by name because I'm pretty sure your profile is private and I don't want to air you out like that. But like I said, I always learn from you guys as much as you learn from me, so thank you so much. And I am hoping to do something special for you, so thank you so much, and we'll be in touch. But the manufacturer, or rather the brand in question, is called Fitted Underground, which is a brand that was born and raised and nurtured in Brooklyn, New York, completely out of passion and completely out of love for denim and getting the perfect fitting pair of jeans. And the owner of this lovely brand and manufacturer is Steffen, who is such a gentleman, who is very down to earth. I love that people like this exist in the raw denim community, people like this that I can support, because when you're buying from good people, it just makes the experience and the garment so much more special. But Steffen was nice enough to not only give me the time of day, but to also allow me to shoot in his facility to show you guys exactly the process on how he manufactures his garments, which can all be purchased online from his ready-to-wear line on Fitted Underground. The link will be somewhere in the video. But what's interesting about Fitted Underground is because they have so much control due to the fact that their garments are literally made right here, is that for pretty much any ready-to-wear garment that they offer on their website, they also offer a made-to-measure service for a little bit of an upcharge. But with that, the amount of control that you get from Fitted Underground when it comes to the manipulation of the silhouette, the fit, the pattern of the garment, it's basically synonymous with the name of Fitted Underground. You can get your jeans or your garments to fit exactly how you want at a very, very fair price for being made in America. And this is custom raw denim at its finest. I don't really know any other brands that offer a made-to-measure kind of program at this scale, let alone this price. And they've also got a bespoke program, which we will talk about a little later in the video, so definitely stay tuned for that. But being inside the manufacturer for Fitted Underground, I really was captivated. I was in denim heaven. It gave me a similar feel that I felt when I went to Kojima Jean Street. Eric had an excellent fabric selection that was curated beautifully, comprising of Japanese raw denims, canvas twills, all different types of fabrics, natural indigo fabrics, which you guys know that I love. They had heavy denim, they had slubby denim, they had red cast denim, they had green cast denim, they had a special vintage blue raw denim that starts off very light and fades gorgeously over time. I mean, they had so much that they make their garments out of, again, a lot of which are available on their site for ready to wear and made to measure. And you can even stop by their store if you're in Brooklyn, and you can try the garments on. You can work with Eric to see what works best for you, what you like, what you don't like, what you want to change, and kind of come together to have that real special interaction with the brand, as opposed to just buying something online from another store. I mean, you really never get this type of control when it comes to buying a pair of raw selvage denim jeans, and this is of some of the highest quality raw denim and construction that I've ever seen. Now, a little bit about Steffen. It's very interesting, his process and how he kind of came about to make some of the best raw denim made in Brooklyn. Essentially, Eric started this out of passion because he wanted to create a pair of jeans that fit him the way that he wanted to. He couldn't really find anything in the stores that worked for him. He was looking for something more. He was looking for something that had soul, something that spoke to him, and the only way to get that done was he had to make his own jeans. And that sentiment really spoke to him. It was very important, and he essentially is primarily self-taught, although I do believe that he said he went to seek schooling later. But for the most part, a lot of this was done from his own innate skill to make raw selvage denim, which arguably to me is the most important important thing when it comes to a brand and a manufacturer delivering their own sense of soul, their own sense of identity, imparting that onto each and every single garment that they make. And Eric even told me that just for practice, he was making jeans for his friends. He would just give them, he would sell them for very cheap. In the beginning, he was just trying to hone his craft before he could be able to mass market these jeans the way that he is now and creating a full-fledged brand, the likes of which Fitted Underground is today. And what's even more incredible is that since Fitted Underground has become so popular, Eric Steffen himself has decided that he wants to pass on the craft and grow the seedlings of what is going to be made in America for the next couple of decades when it comes to fashion history. It starts with him. He has graciously taken on 3 garment constructors that he is currently training. I believe he's also going to take on a 4th one if I'm not mistaken, but he is training these super talented and lovely individuals whom I was able to meet and pass on the skill that he has amassed for over 10 years now and create the next generation of great made in America raw selvage denim and just clothing manufacturers in general, whether they want to stay in raw denim or not. These are talented sewers that he treats very well. I personally saw how he treats them. They laugh together, they're happy together, they're comfortable, they're hydrated. I mean, Eric definitely goes out of his way to make a nice, comfortable, and easy environment to work in, which you definitely see translates into the products. I mean, these jeans are of some of the highest quality that I've seen. They are very comparable, if not some of them even better than a lot of the Japanese brands that I've seen personally. They're so fully packed with detail. I love some of their green cast denims and just how they fade and age over time. One of my favorite details is the back pocket, where it's actually with wear and wash going to showcase this motif of the Brooklyn Bridge, which is freaking insane. Essentially, he's got a little seam or a piece of fabric in there that eventually shows up and creates that image of the Brooklyn Bridge, which to me is so cool. You also see that on a lot of his denim shirts on the sleeves, which I also love. That to me is just one of those details that, again, imparts that soul, imparts that unique individuality that I love in a brand. And one of my favorite details when it comes to the raw denim shirts that they make, again, showcasing how meticulous they are, is the snaps under the collar, which actually help the collar sit nice and flat. If you wanted a little bit more of like a polished look when it comes to a raw denim shirt, if you didn't want it to like flop around all over the place. And that's something that I really haven't seen in raw denim shirts. You see that a lot on dress shirts, but you don't see it on raw denim shirts a lot. And the fabrics that he used for his raw denim shirts are so gorgeous. I love the deep dark indigo. I'm most likely gonna get a natural indigo one made for myself soon, so definitely stay tuned for that. He's also picked up a couple of sashiko fabrics for raw indigo pants as well as raw indigo jackets. Sashiko and I kind of have a love-hate relationship, but I really like the one that he picked. And I saw a fade sample in the manufacturer as well, and it definitely is something special. So you guys should definitely check that out for all of my sashiko heads. I mean, dude, I even love their black denim jeans. I don't even wear black denim. I have literally one pair from 316, but these jeans, the way that they fade, the character that they develop, they end up looking so cool. I mean, this might have convinced me to start becoming a black raw denim head because these faded down crazy. And going even further into the creativity, Eric even made some pairs with some quilting kind of patterns in the back pockets of some of his jeans, which creates some really interesting fade lines. And again, this is something that you really just don't see in most raw denim. And I love that Eric Steffen fully exercises his creative freedom and ability, not just with himself, but the way that he collaborates with his team. I love that. They all seem to work together so well, and I can't wait to visit again. And like I said, guys, if you wanted to pick up something ready to wear, you could always visit their store because they have a beautiful selection of jeans as well as denim shirts. I think personally for me, their denim shirts probably are my favorite garment from the entire brand. Now with that, if you do visit the facility, there is actually a bespoke option that you can do where you can fully customize every single part of the jean. You can submit your measurements a couple of different ways. Me personally, as a tailor myself, I wouldn't try and measure yourself. What I would do is take advantage of the mail-in option. Now, while Eric does allow you to submit your own measurements for your garments, the mail-in option is the best option in my opinion, because what you can do is take your favorite fitting pair of jeans, send them over to Eric, give him instructions. You want this part bigger, you want this part smaller, you want a little bit more of a straight leg here, whatever. You guys can actually work it out yourselves. You can hop on a consultation with him and you can really dial in on the perfect bespoke raw denim jeans made, created and designed in collaboration with you and Fitted Underground, which, I mean, it just doesn't get more personal than that. I mean, there's so much that you could do. I love the idea for a bespoke option for raw denim, and I definitely think that they do it right. I mean, I was even able to see a bespoke raw denim shirt being made firsthand that he started cutting that day right before I left, and the process was gorgeous. I love the way that him and his team work. I love the way that he works, how dialed in, how focused he gets. It's an extremely well-oiled machine at Fitted Underground, and I think that if you have the opportunity to visit them, you absolutely should. I mean, guys, this is the start of something beautiful. This is the start of clothing manufacturing in New York City, kind of bringing it back to the heyday that it once was. It starts with people like Eric Steffen. It starts with people like Eric Steffen's team. I'm not going to name them by name, but it starts with them, and our hope is that it's only going to get exponentially bigger over time. But yeah, guys, definitely stop by Fitted Underground in Brooklyn. The website's going to be somewhere on the video as well as in the description. Their address is also going to be in the description. Make sure you guys stop by if you can. Also, make sure that you take advantage of their mail-in bespoke service if you wanted a really, truly special pair of raw denim jeans. Check out their shirts because, like I said, they're personally my favorites and I can't wait to get mine. And their raw denim jeans, like I said, are second to none. They fade beautifully. I saw them in person. I saw the fade samples. I mean, this is truly an incredible and special brand that I think is necessary when it comes to made in America raw denim. There's very few brands right now that are carrying the torch of made in America menswear. But like I said, Fitted Underground is a brand that was born and raised right in Brooklyn soil. And that to me is something very special, so definitely check them out. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for staying to the end of the video. I really love and appreciate y'all so much, and the support that y'all have given is absolutely crazy. I mean, I can't even believe the things that we're doing, how much we're bettering the channel, how much we're improving the content, how much I'm learning from you guys. Like I said, as much as you learn from me. I mean, this collaboration makes beautiful things, and it just shows how much sway that you guys have over the channel, which I think you should, because if you guys had never told me about this brand, then I never would have made this video. So that's why it's so important to share knowledge. I love how willing you guys are to share, just as much as I'm willing to share. So thank you forever for that. And I got so much more exciting content and a special project coming soon. But I don't want to drop no spoilers. Definitely stay tuned for that. But with that being said, thank you guys again, and I'll see you next week.